Other than music,
Yeah.
what all skills did you pick up over the years? I mean, since you've been on both sides, on you understand equipments as a child, you then went into sampling, etc.,
Yeah.
software. Incidentally, you also launched the world's first Indian software company based in India. So,
House.
sorry,
That's lovely. You can say the name, it's fine.
it's Filter Labs.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
so you've seen it all.
Yeah.
I would say analog, sampling. I mean, samplers,
Yeah.
digital,
Yeah.
etc.
Fortunate, yeah.
Yeah, and on stage.
Yeah.
So, what are the skills that you've kind of gathered other than music that you'll always keep learning, but other skills which are important for a musician to survive and grow in this industry?
Adi, I've learned how to learn. It's a very big skill. This know-it-all attitude, once you get that, now, it's game over. I learn every day. I listen and I learn. And that's your biggest skill. A lot of people who've done movies, who've programmed, who've produced, who've, whatever, have a feeling, it's good to have that confidence that yes, you can do it, but that hunger for knowledge should always be there. And I have learned how to grab that knowledge, and I've learned how to learn through my experiences. I'd met a very popular singer and a really incredible artist, and he told me once that, I was always a musician, and from there I became a programmer, and then I started composing music, and because I was composing, I was singing. I would sing a scratch for a Sunidhi or a Shreya or a Sonu or a Sukhwinder Singh or a Shan, and karte, as I went along, I started singing better and better because my scratch, recording started getting better and better, till a point where the director would say, "This is nice, yeah. Why are you changing this voice?" And I would still fight to change my own voice. But then Suleiman would support me sometimes and he'd say, "No, yaar, Salim, you're sounding okay. I think you should just redo it once or twice and that's it." So I've learned how to be a certain way. That learning thing, and that I was telling you about the singer who I met, and I asked him, he said, "Aap acha ga rahe ho aajkal." So I was very happy that he said that. So he said, "Dekhiye, gaate gaate hi gana banta hai." And it's so true. What we do every day, and music is absolutely that. It's like a relationship you have with your art. If you go away from it, it'll go away from you. If you come close to it, it'll come closer to you. So that is something I've learned. You embrace it, and it'll embrace you further. And music is something like that. Whether you're on stage, whether you're in studio, wherever you are, to be able to be close to your instrument and your art is extremely important. So that's something I've learned. And that, I think, sums up a lot of things. Small things like being professional for your sound check, not taking it for granted कि अरे मैं show में जा sound check देख लेंगे यार. Not a good thing. You don't know what the venue acoustics are. You don't know how it's going to sound on stage. You don't know what your in-ears are going to sound like. You don't know whether the in-ears are working to start with. You don't know how loud the band will be on stage. Even though you play with the band, you do so many shows in a year, but the acoustics are different. Sometimes it's a concert hall. Sometimes it's an arena. Sometimes it's an open air show. So you have to. It's great to not ever relax and take it for granted that dekha jayega. This attitude is something I've learned, that never have that. That's what I've learned, and that's the biggest skill I think I've gained. So yeah.
So your journey basically from so many kind of departments,
Yeah.
if you could call it. Do you think people skills are equally important? Because honestly, I know you, so I think you're very good at that. Respect for others.
I think that is something that is, it's part of your values as you grow up, and I'm very thankful that my parents brought me up really well, and have that thing of giving back. Somebody had told me that happiness is best felt when you give happiness to other people, and that is so true. As a musician, I think firstly we are very fortunate that we really light up so many people's lives and spread so much happiness with people's, in people, with people. So that is an art which you develop, over time. And then you realize that how, when you're singing a Shukran Allah or something, and you see people's expressions and people's, the way they have that love for you, it makes you even more humble and more grounded, and keeps you like really, really grounded, and makes you feel so humble. And so, I mean, you feel great, but at the same time you feel really humble that, it's your music and the power of your music that has taken you and touched somebody's heart. So these things really, something which you develop over time. It's not like, and it's sometimes you don't develop, So I'm really thankful that, these things have naturally come to me because of my parents and the values they brought me up with. And I don't make an effort, yeah. It's, these things are good, and I mean that I don't have to make an effort to be a good person, If it's there, it's beautiful.
Yeah, this is how you are, basically.
Yeah, I don't make an effort to be like that. Yeah.
Because you can get caught.
If you're acting to be a nice person or to be extra genuine, then sometimes you can't act this. Yeah. Either it is there in you or you don't have it.
Right.
So, fortunately, I don't say that I'm a nice person, but I think I try to be nice to everyone. You give good, you get good. That's a mantra of life. Right.
So when you see, when we talk of arrangement of a song, okay, now as a composer,
Yeah.
is it difficult for you to select whether you will produce it or you'll get somebody else to work on it? And how do you decide the singer? Will you sing it? If it's a male singer, how do you arrive at that decision?
These days, there's so much one can do with a song. You write a classical way song, and then you know that you can completely electrify it, electronicify it. I don't know, it's the right word, but yeah, you can make it a trap track, or you can make it a future-based track, or you can make it in so many styles. Even if you've composed a classical-based tune, so. One thing is great. One thing you must keep in mind that it's, there is, the more you allow your participation of people's energies, it gets better and better and better. You may have all the knowledge and all the skills and whatnot, but, it's nice to sometimes bring people's energies in the form of a programmer, or in the form of a guitar player or a drummer or a bass player. I think music is about people. When people's energies come in, music flows better. You can always choose whether you want to tweak that bass, record a live bass, or you can program a bass also, and get a guitar player and tweak that guitar to sound like a synth, and you can do so many things. But when you get people's energies and their brain and their love in a track, it only sounds better. You can pick whether you want to keep it or not. You have all the choice of doing things, but just bringing in people's energies, you never know, you get some amazing stuff. And regarding selecting a singer, I never plan that till the very end. Sometimes, like I know that I'm going to this song, like it'd be great if Sukhi sings it when I start. And Sukhwinder Singh is my most favorite singer in the whole world. So I really admire him as a voice, and he's a powerhouse, and I'm very attracted to his vocal quality. So so sometimes I get that intuition that, okay, this song should be Sukhi, and then I go towards that. My tune sort of, I bring in his characteristics and personality in the song, so it's suited for him. But these things are, they just happen here while you're composing, while you're making music, while you're producing, while you put a bass line or you put some chords, and you decide, Arey yaar, I think I should get this person to play guitar on, or I think I should get so and so to play bass on, or something like that. So yeah, or why don't I get X person to produce it also along with us? It'd be nice. And there's so much going on. Like Raj, who works with us right now, he does a lot of programming for us, and he puts in a lot of his personality and his love in our music, and it really adds up. And I think music is about participation of people and bringing and like working like a family.
True.
It sounds better. You can sit alone in the studio and do a lot of things, but when people's energies come in, magic happens.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's the right word.
yeah,
So, you travel a lot.
yeah.
Since we handle your website, I know your schedules.
Oh,
I'm amazed at how do you perform
so
a
many.
song list night after night in different cities, different parts of the world with the same energy on stage. Since I've attended your shows and bought tickets for that, and
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
so
I
how do you get that?
again, Adi, I'm very fortunate that in that I love what I do and do what I love.
This is a good T-shirt kind of
Saying.
text and
A lot of things in this interview, you will get the very t-shirt. Your brain thinks like merchandise all the time, and please keep this in the interview. Don't edit it out. Yeah, please keep it. Yeah, he's got to keep this. Well, because we
these
also
are good quotes.
yes, these are good quotes. Yeah, there are a lot of things. Yeah.
So
I think it's something which again I'm very fortunate that I have a great team. I'll be honest with you, and I don't want to take the credit at all because my team should take the credit. My engineer Aftab and Samir, they work so hard. They're the last people to leave the venue and the first people to hit as soon as they get on. They get their sleep only on their plane. It's 2 hours, 3 hours, or whatever it is. It's crazy how they work. They don't go to the hotel. So, after one night show and we go to the next city, they don't go to the hotel. They go to the venue. Incredible dedication. Incredible. I mean, I don't know how they do it. But I think it's because, I always call my band and my crew as an extended family. We eat together, we joke together, we travel together, we stay in the same hotel. And that brotherly feeling, which we have amidst each other, makes us who we are. And everyone works beautifully. Our charts are sorted, as in the notation charts are sorted. Everyone's like on top of the game. You know, uh, my band is incredible. Really, they're some of the finest musicians I work with. They have such a great. Uh, they have such a great sound, and the passion they have, and the energy on stage. And sometimes, if we have a fourth show in a row, like we've done 3 already in 3 different cities, and we have the 4th show. I remember when we were traveling in the United States last year, there was a hurricane. I'm going to tell you the story very quickly. And we had a show in Atlanta, and the next day was Birmingham, and third day was Tampa, and 4th day was Chicago. We drove because there was a hurricane, so the flights were not taking off in time and stuff like that. We hired 4 SUVs and a big truck for our luggage, and we went by road, and we did 4 consecutive shows, and we were sleeping in the in the van all the time, in the car all the time before we hit the venue. And then we hit the venue, we just do sound check and have a chai or a coffee and on stage. And we're so tired before the show, trust me, Adi, but like just when we get on stage, the first song, I mean, it's magic. It's great. Like just the way the crowd, I mean, I have to just like, and I'm thinking how I'm going to sing again. Just play that, and people are like, you hear that crowd noise, and everybody's like, yes, pumped. That's it. It's the power of music, honestly, and it's the power of us being together as a team, as a family, to just enthrall our audience and get their love. That's it, and magic happens.
wow, it's really nice. And you may be surprised to know, but in the market, as it's called,
Market.
music,
मार्केट में नया माल आया हाँ
market में खबर ये है कि you all are the best paymasters.
Oh,
So
well,
it's also
I think that's
people aspire to work with such standards. You might take it for granted. Shouldn't that
I
be
think that should be a
obvious?
normal thing, like, I mean, if people are coming to work with you, they should be paid,
But
right?
paid well is the point.
And I'm
It's not
thankful.
timely pay master, but also you pay your teammates well because, like you said, they're a part of your journey and they're part of
Look,
your
I've been a
choice.
musician, I'm always a musician. I'll never look at myself as an artist who's like sort of, whatever. I mean, fine, I'm really happy with all the love that the world has given us. But I'm first a musician, and I will make sure that my feet are on the ground. And that's something that
No, that's how your band also
I don't know.
feels a part
Yeah.
of your family. I mean, as a family.
Yeah, I'll just be myself here all my life. I don't.
Right.
People would want me to change and be someone else, but I'll always be myself.
Because what happens is when somebody grows, in any field, not just music, if
Yeah.
it's in a bank
Yeah.
or in politics, you obviously start losing some. I mean, losing
We
touch with the
humans are
thing.
cursed. What do you say? Success, kind of jacks your brain.
So
So,
many feel that
but if
bada,
your heart
music.
is in the right place, then you're fine.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But that's for you. But
well,
people
I think,
connected to you, I mean, truly connected
well,
with
I
you.
hope that people, sort of, follow this mantra of,
Yeah.
doing good karma and always,
Yeah.
do good, you get good. It's like that. And, success is just a very temporary thing, yeah.
That's true.
Struggle and hard work make them your best friends, and you'll always be happy.
So that's quote number 4.
I mean, I'm not making this up. This is how I am,
No,
and like,
fine.
I've always, success
It's
ho gaya to it's bonus. It's great. And
just some people feel
I
that.
always get pressured, yeah. When a picture hit ho jati hai, I'm like, oh my God, now we have to make sure our next is bigger.
Right.
So it's always be that pressure. Look at Mr. Bachchan, he's still struggling. That's how it is. You gotta just,
Glad to share we supplied a lot of equipment for his studio recently.
awesome,
Yeah.
wonderful.
So it's again a myth that if you become successful, stroke famous, or rich, अरे बड़ा आदमी हो गया अभी कहाँ पूछेगा अपने को.
हाँ.
So many people don't connect back thinking that you might not recognize them.
Yeah.
It's basically insecurities in others also.
Yeah.
Okay, you really made big
Yeah.
and there is a second lot that aspires to become like
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
Even I will one day.
Yeah.
So there are both reactions that
Absolutely.
seeing
Absolutely.
anybody's growth.
Yeah.
But they have to realize that you're not changed.
I must tell you one thing. At a very young age, I met Ustad Zakir Hussain, and I've been following him very closely. A lot of people learn music with him, and a lot of people are, inspired by him. But inspired by him, not only just as I've been inspired by him not only as a musician, but as a human being. He is just amazing and incredible. What an humble human, what an amazing human being he is, And that's what makes him a better musician, I think. Also, apart from his hard work, his riyaz, his dedication and whatever, he's learned from his father and from so many more people and from his experience, but also because of his human qualities. He is so incredible. And I've followed him really, and I've seen him very closely. And I've learned a lot from him, really. I've learned that it's important first to be a good human being, then you be a good musician. It's important first to be a good human being. That's the key. Music में तुम ऊपर नहीं जाएंगे तो भी चलेगा, but as a human first be a good human being, man. That's key.
Okay. So Salim, because of this hectic traveling and being out of Bombay,
Yeah.
etc., most of the time, I think you must be. I mean,
I'm gonna drink some water, huh? But don't cut this. Huh. Go on. Okay, sorry. But it's cool, yeah. I should keep all this stuff in the interview also. It makes it casual, नहीं पानी वानी का भी. इसके लिए बोला don't cut it. हाँ, okay. हाँ.
Because of this hectic traveling, I think sometimes it's 15, 18 days
Yeah,
you're
it
not
is.
in Bombay.
Yeah, it is.
How do you manage
My studio.
and home?
Home. My family is very supportive of what I do right from the very beginning, and and when we, and they're also very busy. My daughter's growing. She's really busy in school. My wife is a music teacher. She's very, very busy as a teacher. And so it's a great setup. Like when we connect, when we sort of meet, we really bond, and and we have some great time when we go out on holidays and stuff like that. And so my home is beautiful. Like they are very sorted. My studio stuff is, again, I'm so fortunate. I have an amazing team. Raj, who's a very, very big part of Salim Suleiman, he's a big support. And Aftab, our engineer, who works with other people as well, but he knows his priorities. And we have a traveling studio also. So when we have to do things in the hotel room, you'll not believe this, Adi. I've finished my third show in a row, and I've gone back to to my hotel room. And I have an amazing mobile studio. I'll show you a little bit later. It's a nice case with a laptop, with a microphone stand and a sound card, and it's powerful. And I got a little tube compressor also, and it's pretty cool. Like I can really do some amazing stuff on it. And I got all my plugins and all my things loaded on there. And I can easily take my project from here, and I can have it on my hard drive on my laptop, and I work out of the hotel room. And if my show gets over by like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, then I'm up till 4 working. And if my next day show is like at 9:30 p.m., my sound check is like, let's say, at 4:30 or something. Then I get to the next city in the hotel, like let's say I reach by 12:31 or whatever. I'll probably nap for like 2 hours, and in 2 hours I'll go back to the studio. It takes 15 minutes to set up my laptop and microphone and all that stuff.
Right.
And I'm ready.
Nice.
And we connect speakers as well sometimes, so that it can be, I mean, most of the time it's headphones, but I can connect speakers as well. Sometimes I do. So it's fun. And nothing stops me from working when I'm touring. Nothing. Because it's today it's so easy to continue working on this thing.
And from anywhere.
From anywhere. Besides that, I have an amazing team also. Like if I need some support here, I can always call. There's Dhiren who works here as well with us, and he doesn't travel with us, so he's at the studio, so he can always fly some files, or we transfer some things and whatever. It's easy, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So basically, you're working on.
I'm working all the time. Yeah. I'm not working. I'm on a holiday all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's nice. So. I've heard this, I'm not sure you can corroborate that information. Was your band one of the first to have in-ear monitors on stage? Because
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, we're not in a race here, but
yeah, I don't know.
we've done all the race versions. But
that's interesting, man. That's not a bad joke. Yeah, I mean, I think they're.
Because it's only now that others have started moving on to in-ears. Why did you do that?
I don't know. I think Suleiman was the first guy to move to in-ears.
Okay.
And he kept telling me, Salim, please stop using these monitors on stage. Everything becomes so noisy, because your microphone is catching all the sound, and stage pe keyboard ka amp hota hai, and then guitar amps and this and that, and then bass amp, and so bass amp and guitar amp is still there because that's the sound of the band. But when the bass player Rushad is on in-ears, and guitar player Nigel is on in-ears, everyone's on in-ears. I don't know. Dheere dheere, slowly every year. So after Suleiman, I was the second guy to move on in-ears, and then we started using Click for the band. It was a few years ago now. And so when we started using Click, Darshan was like, I think we should start using a metronome on stage. The drummer, Darshan Doshi.
Right.
So this was about 3-4 years ago, and I was like, are you serious? Like, he's like, yeah, we'll be in time. Everyone will be in time. And because there are certain parts in a song which don't have a beat, and then you tend to go fast or you tend to go slow. on those songs. And then sometimes the drummer is giving you a hat or a ride or something just to keep in time. But if you have a click, then you don't need any this thing. And then you can even trigger samples which are in a certain BPM. So big advantage of using in-ears, not just sonically feeling amazing and feeling like great about having a great sound in your ears, but also when you can have a metronome running in your not tracks, metronome. You can just have a click, and that click will keep you in time. So this whole thing of pitch and time, being in pitch and in time, in-ears has made a big difference to us, to our band, and I'm sure to everyone else.
Does it feel like you're in the
And I don't know whether we were like the first ones or whatever, but I just feel good that we are in in-ears. Really, it's a great feeling. It's very clean.
But does it feel as if you're recording in the studio?
No.
No, it doesn't give that
No,
feel.
no. And it should not. It should not. Why then? If it's isolating all the our in-ears also, there are while you're using in-ears, just to let you know, there are sometimes these mics, these audience mics, which we use, that gives you the audience ka feed in your in-ears.
Okay.
Otherwise, you feel very isolated. I have two pairs of in-ears. One pair has the ambience feature also. So when I use those, it gives me a small amount of the crowd as well, and the sound or the acoustics of the place. And that's for me to get that perspective of the euphoria that is happening around me. Otherwise, it'll isolate you completely. Some people like that isolation, but I like that feed of the audience as well.
So how do you engage the audience, or is there something that you do that you talk to the audience? Suppose you are in...
I don't have any tricks, Adi. I just be myself.
No,
Just like I'm doing this interview with you.
Correct.
It's a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of fun, a little bit of my life, my personality, and that's what it is. Your music is a reflection of your personality. That's quote number 8.
So when you go to, say, for example, Bangalore, so would you say something in Kannada, or if you go
If I feel like it, like we did a show in Kolkata just 4 days ago, and I just did the very typical camo nacho.
Right. But you don't have a formula that
No.
line, whichever city or region I'm in, I'll say that, and then I'll do this.
It's so done. No, I don't do that. No.
Okay.
And also when we go to Bangalore and perform, or like let's say we go to Chennai or whatever, it's not that everybody is from Tamil Nadu and Bangalore and Chennai. Yeah, it's okay to say greeting in whatever.
But there's no some local song.
I mean, Bengali is like a sweet language, and so is Gujarati, and whatever. So you say something in Gujarati when you do a show in Ahmedabad or something like that. It's cool. But
you don't end up singing.
But everywhere you can't go. You can't say like, tusi kaise ho, or like you go to Punjab or something like that. Like, please, it's like too done. You know what I mean? No. And also, every time on stage, I'm very, very spontaneous.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because of television and because of my personality the way I am, I just, I catch on to something and like, and some people like they scream, we love you. I was like, really? And like things like that, we just like do some random stuff which is not planned, but it turns into a joke, and the crowd feels more connected to us because we are so casual about it, and that kind of thing.
But it is important, right, to
we
acknowledge the audience.
Sometimes when the crowd is singing, like we know that they've come here to really have a good time, then we don't sing certain lines, they sing the lines, and then we do this game of like, we sing something and then we like let them sing and that kind of stuff. So, so these things it comes with experience. Yeah. It's not something you can really like, if you structure it and if you plan it, it may not work. But if you like do it with your heart and do something very spontaneously, it really connects. And I've always done that in music. I've not had any structure ever. I've always followed my heart and just been spontaneous. While playing a simple thing of like, Chand Sifarish, when we were programming this, like, it was like, with Jatin Lalit really did, like, the song was like, Chand Sifarish jo karta hamari. ऐसा था गाना वो.
Okay.
It was like literally like that kind of a pattern that I heard the song in as a scratch, you know. But then putting in like a dholak and an electric guitar and like a power chord sort of a thing, you know, that kind of a pattern. So that was something which was very kind of it very spontaneous. I'm like Amir Khan ke upar shoot ho raha hai ye Fana film. It's like a kind of like a Qawwali, you know. Let's give it that touch. Let's give it that. And yes, Dave Jatin Lalit liked it, Kunal Kohli liked it, and we were like, okay, let's do it. So it's like that.
Spontaneity.
Things should be, yeah, music should have a very kind of like a live feel, you know. You start planning कि इसको ऐसा करेंगे और ऐसा करेंगे और ऐसा करेंगे. You lose the fun, you know. And it may work if you plan too much, but with me it doesn't work. With me it's very like, it's now or never.
So in the next segment, we'll just come to production tips.
Acha, okay.
And,
Go on.
and that'll help a lot of viewers.
Yeah, okay, sure.
ठीक है ना?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
good.
can share and whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Go for it.